your advice.
Yeah. Like, it's like you gotta be
top
5 people.
I would say to be
10%.
safe. I'd say to be safe, you want to be top 5
people.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to our channel. We're back with another video, and this one we actually have a guest star.
Hi everyone.
What's your name? Where are you from?
You know what this reminds me of? iCarly.
Wow. I used to love that show.
I used to love that show.
Remember like Sam and Cat after?
Did nobody watch that show?
With Ariana Grande?
Y'all know.
I did.
It was all about iCarly.
I didn't watch him in Cat, but I know what it is with Ariana Grande.
It was the little girl who was on iCarly, the best friend, right? And then she had a show
with Ariana Grande.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I used to watch the show, like, what was the show with Ariana Grande on it? And like, they went to like a performing, yeah. But anyway,
so introduce yourself.
My name is Priscilla, and I am these guys' friend. I also just graduated. Ignore the fact that I don't have my hat, but unlike these girls, my hair is actually laid, so don't even worry about it. No.
Wow. Expose us.
No, but I transferred to Columbia Law School on my 2L year, which is why we're doing this video.
Cool. Sorry, I'm like really hungry. This is a frequently asked question. How's it feel to transfer? Do you have a friend that transferred? What's the process like? So, we figured let's make a video.
Right.
And just keep it simple. What you gonna say?
I guess, no, I agree. Like, just break it down for us. But I will start with like why you even wanted to transfer.
Ooh, yeah.
If you knew like going in or whatever.
Yeah, so
when did you decide to transfer?
Yeah.
So I thought at first, like when I decided that I was gonna go to law school, I was gonna apply to Columbia in the first place, right? So like my plan was to end up here, but I missed the deadline.
Wow. You missed the deadline?
So no, what had happened was, right, so if you take the February LSAT, you have to let Columbia know that you're gonna be taking that LSAT, so to like hold your application and stuff like that. But I didn't know that until after that deadline had passed, so I didn't want to pay my fees. That $80 may not seem like much, but it adds up when you're applying to a lot of schools.
It does.
So I decided, you know what, just forget it. I'm not even gonna apply to Columbia this cycle. I'm gonna just wait. But that meant that I went into my 1L year knowing that I was gonna be transferring, which that was tough.
So did that happen only for Columbia specifically or other schools?
Did I miss a deadline for other schools?
And you're like, this 80 is actually gonna be 500 because I'm thinking 5.
Right.
Or you knew like?
Nah, so it was only gonna be 80 for me because like where I wanted to go was Columbia, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that I didn't apply to any other schools. As far as transferring goes, I also applied to Yale and Harvard and all them schools because I was like, I mean, if I could get in, why not? Right. So I definitely gave it a try.
So we got another angel, another Columbia lover on our hands.
Another Columbia lover?
Why you gotta be a hater?
I'm just saying.
Like,
I have a question about that though. Because you went in knowing you were going to transfer. Do you think it's possible to like go in not knowing you want to transfer and still kind of like end up transferring?
Absolutely. So I honestly would not have known that you could even transfer law schools if it hadn't been for like a friend and roommate that I had in the past who was a transfer herself when I was in undergrad. Shout out Michelle Pope. She transferred to Notre Dame, and so that's how I knew that like if this didn't work out, I could actually transfer, it gave me peace of mind going in. But let's say you finish your first semester 1L year and you decide, yo, my grades are popping, like I could really get into a better school. You can absolutely start the steps of transferring at that point. You don't have to like come in knowing what you want to do. That was just, I feel like that was an anomaly.
But your grades have to be popping.
Your grades do have to be popping.
Both semesters or just the fall?
Both semesters. Now what happens is that there are certain schools that will start accepting applications to transfer after your first semester, but I don't recommend you start applying to those schools like your Harvard and etc. unless you are literally the top of your class and unless you could like have basically gotten in your first time around and like may have gotten waitlisted or something like that. So I would say hold off and then apply after the 2 semesters are up.
Real quick, just a clarifying question. Top of your class, what does that mean?
Like your advice.
Yeah. Like, it's like you gotta be top 5 people.
I would say
like
to be safe, you want to be top 5
people.
In your class?
Whatever that means, because like you're.
Let's say if your class
like,
is 200, you gotta be the top 5 In top 5 people?
I'd say top 5%.
Top 5%. Okay.
5%.
So when do you get accepted? The summer after 1L?
Yeah, so what would happen is if you wait, because most applications don't open until like after your second semester anyway, and or like halfway through your second semester, you would start applying, and then you won't get accepted really until like June, July, etc.
Oh,
so
wow.
you don't really have that long to decide which school you want to go to, or if you want to transfer at all, or all that. So I had to like basically do a mad dash once I got in of putting down a seat deposit, like taking back my financial
Got some money in the
aid.
bank, saved up, basically.
Right. Because what ended up happening was, as soon as I got in, I had to come like a week or 2 weeks after for orientation, and Columbia wouldn't let me get out of orientation, and I still had work. So it's really like a hectic time in your life, but it's also very exciting because like you've worked your behind off to get into that school, right? So like this is like your achievements coming true. It's really dope. Like, I can't recommend.
And then you came real close to EIP. Y'all, let me tell you, this is how I met Priscilla. Even though she never wants to claim me or own me as her mentor.
What are you? First of all, don't do all that.
That's how we met. We were at EIP, walking around, you know me, happy-go-lucky, even though this is like one of the most stressful things in my life. I was like, who's this black girl I never met? I know all the black people. So I was like,
she really does.
I really was like, hey.
You gotta be a transfer.
You gotta be a transfer. Cause like you're black and I met you. She was like, yeah.
It was actually a not stressful time, so I'm actually really glad you brought that up. So what happens is that when you are about to transfer, right, like you're leaving your comfort zone, you're leaving your friends that you've made 1L, your professors who've supported you, administration who've had your back, like whatever. And I definitely had that in my old school. So it was a really hard choice, even though I knew that I wanted to come to Columbia, because I knew I was leaving my people. So coming to EIP, that was my first time around any Columbia people. I didn't know y'all like that. Y'all could have been crazy, like, oh no. So it was really nice to walk in stressed out as all hell, and then have someone come up to you and be like, do I know you? I don't know you. Okay, what's up?
You talking about the process?
Yeah, can you explain the process?
Right, so it starts like really before you start your application and things like that, and that's basically like the essentials, which is maintaining good grades, being at the top of your class, making sure that you have like extracurriculars and things that set you apart, right? And I just want to start by encouraging everyone who, even if you didn't do well in your undergrad, even if you didn't do well on your LSAT, it's not that like you cannot transfer law schools, because I definitely, like as y'all found out during our graduation event in my speech, that like I didn't do very well in undergrad because I had my own issues, and my LSATs were okay, but they weren't great, right? But I was still able to transfer because all that really matters is your 1L grades. You have to be popping with those grades, like there's no way around it. So do that first to start. But the process really starts with like getting letters of recommendation from your professors. So make sure that you like cultivate relationships with people who will be willing to go to bat for you.
And it has to be law school professors?
It has to be law school professors. Like I definitely think I could have gotten one from my undergrad, because they give you the option of having like 2 or 3 or something like that. But I thought no one could attest as well to my capabilities as far as being a hard worker goes, as far as my understanding of my coursework goes, as my law school professors. And it definitely was in my benefit, especially because
question. So it doesn't have, it can be from college professors if you feel like you have a better relationship with them. Would you recommend that? Or you think like law school is best?
I think law school is best, and I think what ends up happening, if I remember correctly, is that they tell you what your recommendation is supposed to be from, right? So for example, I knew that I had to have law school professors write my recommendation because that's what my application said. But I think I had 3 recommendations, 2 of which had to be law school professors, and then the other one could have been.
And you just chose to make all 3 of them?
I did. So having the letters of recommendation is good. You will have to end up getting a transcript from your undergrad sent to the various law schools. Some of them will require you to physically send a transcript. So you have to go through all of this again, y'all. And I know it's not great, but it's like actually really difficult to know on the LSAC website how to go about the transfer application, but that's because like it hasn't opened yet, and it doesn't really open for you until you like let the LSAC know that you're going to be transferring and send in your transcript and things like that, and then like you can access those forms. So the transcript, the letters of recommendation, your transcript from your law school, a personal statement, again, your addendums again, all that stuff that you had to do for your first law school, you'll have to do again.
What about the cost though? Is it
Quick question
$85?
before we get to cost, another clarifying question. Because I don't ever remember seeing it on LSAC, like option to transfer that will open up. Do you have to contact them physically, or you find that?
You can find that. It'll be
Okay.
on the website, but until they open that transfer application
be there.
process,
I see.
you're gonna have a hard time trying to find all that.
And then how much is it? 85 again? Or is it
So
more?
it depends on the law school again. So I did end up having to pay for every single school that I applied to. So if you don't think that you have a fighting shot of getting into, you know what, I'm not even going to say that. If you don't think, even if you don't think you have a fighting shot of getting into a school, apply to it anyway. And if you can't afford it, similar to what you did during your first round applications to law school, you can you can ask for waivers as well. So just keep applying. The literal worst that can happen is they say no.
Were all the prices similar to application fees? Like all
Yes.
application fees again?
Yeah.
It's like the same as the first time around.
Yeah.
So you dropped another 80.
I dropped a little
child.
more than 80, but you know, I'm
Wow.
not gonna hurt my own feelings. So
Wow.
here we are. Yeah.
So how was it to like go from one law school to another? Like the cultures, was the vibe different? Like what was the comparison like?
I can't speak for every person who's transferred or is going to transfer, but my experience was amazing. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I loved Mizzou by the time I left. Not like I loved the entire school, excuse me, but like my friendships that I cultivated and things like that, I loved these people, still talk to them today. So moving and leaving all that behind was terrifying, right? And you've built up credibility and things like that, and you're leaving all that to a place that you don't know, in a city you don't know, where people can be different. But like Sam said, when she came up to me during EIP, I felt so welcomed being at Columbia. And I think that, I know that my friends who transferred with me, because there's a whole transferring class, I think we were about 40 or so, definitely had different experiences than I did. And what really helped out was that I physically looked like I hadn't been here before, right? And such a big school as Columbia.
She was the only black transfer out of 40 of them.
So, and that,
Let's be explicit.
that's what she said. So what ended up happening is people knew, oh, we don't know you, who are you, etc. And they gave me a shot. They really just let me be myself and get to know them and things like that. So shout out to Columbia class of 2019. Y'all really did that for sure. Okay. Every single person was very welcoming. Every single person just
Dope.
made me feel like I've been here with y'all. So that was amazing for me. Class-wise, I'm gonna say it. I don't think Columbia was as hard as I thought it was going to be. So that was kind of nice too. So I came in partly because I wanted to be here, but also being at a top 5 law school also meant that I didn't have to work quite as hard as I had worked my one all year, which was nice. But I will say that, like, for the work that I did do and the grades that I did get, like, I thought it was gonna be harder.
Okay. I guess that's kind of what Angel was saying in the last video, y'all. She was like, you feel like with other schools, people you know, they're working a lot harder to get to the top of their class. When you get here, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
That's
So,
pretty cool.
yeah.
Confirming it.
Yeah.
If you could go back, would you do anything differently?
Oh gosh. Honestly, I think that everything that I did academically went out. Everything that I would have worked a little bit harder at Columbia, simply because I did relax a little. And I'm not saying my grades were bad at all. Like, they were pretty good, but there are definitely some instances where I could have done better and I was just tired or lazy or what have you. I think more importantly, some of the friendships that I cultivated, I wouldn't say that I'd pick better friends or that like I would drop anyone or anything like that. I'd say that I would invest in them more than I did, even though I have great friendships.
At Mizzou or Columbia?
No, I mean at both places, but like since we're talking about this transfer experience, I'd say at Columbia, just because I know that I'm gonna be in DC, I'm going to be leaving you guys and things like that, and I know we have great friendships and I know that it's gonna last, but I just wish that I popped up more, things like that, just to make sure that like you have limited time with these people that become everything to you and like really hold you down when you need it. So I would highly recommend, even though you are busy, even though you are stressed, like we get it, but no one will get you through that quite like your friends will. So don't like let that fall by the wayside, but everything else I'll keep it.
Keep it here.
Okay.
We graduated.
Okay.
Well, we graduated. You already did it.
You already graduated. It's past tense.
Graduated.
Yeah. Oh,
We attended Columbia Law School.
goodness. You did.
Kind of crazy
We did that.
saying that.
Find less corny friends. I would say that too.
Any last words of advice or anything else about your transfer experience that you feel like you haven't gotten off your chest?
Or that people should know. Because like people have been really asking about this.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have individual questions, let Sam and Angel know. I'll probably be in the comments and stuff like that and try to respond.
You in the comments. Okay.
I'll be looking. I would honestly, truly say that you don't know how hard you can work. You really don't know how hard you can work. I did go through times at my old school where people doubted my skills or doubted my capabilities or what have you, or just that like I put too much pressure on myself and I didn't come across the way that I wanted to come across to people, things like that. But all I'm gonna say is that you will be tested. Like your mental capabilities will be tested. You will be tested by other people. You will test yourself. You will have so many days where you really just want to go to bed and give up. And I'm gonna tell you to work through that anyway. Literally, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. I was out here not playing games with anybody. So if I can do it, so can you.
Powerful.
That's good.
Thank you so much for joining us for this video.
This is like our first interview, kind of.
Yeah, because we have no personal experience in
Yeah,
this.
good side.
Well, there's another one coming though. So
Another
interview.
Law review.
Law review.
Oh, right.
That's another thing we have questions about.
Yeah, so my friends aren't gonna interview me for journal, but you know, it's cool. It's cool.
See,
it's
they
cool.
didn't ask
This is
about
their-
journal. They asked about
this is-
law.
And I want to say that like me and
Uh-huh.
Sam are very like intentional about not speaking on our things that aren't our personal
Yeah.
experience. So if y'all are asking us about things that we don't know about, like how.
It's yours.
Yeah,
So
it's
we
yours. So like we're intentional about not speaking about things that aren't our personal. People ask us about like how to apply as an international student. Like
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no clue.
I gotta find it for you.
Yeah, I gotta find
I
them.
mean,
So,
we definitely have friends that could
Yeah.
speak to that.
so it's our first little interview. It was fun.
So do let me know if you have any questions.
All right. So I hope this is really helpful for all the people that are thinking about transferring, whether you just started as a one or are starting as a 1L or you're in law school, whatever it was. And as always, if you like this video, make sure you
Like, comment, and subscribe.
and watch out for more videos.
Peace. Bye.
Hey, goes. Look at this backdrop thing. Isn't it so cool?
The full thing.
We came all the way here to show y'all this. We did it.
Oh,
We did it. How do you feel?
I feel exhausted. I have partied my behind off the past 5 days.
And we have our caps on because we just went to the last graduation of the 3.